everyone. I'm Ronnie.
And I'm Jessica.
And you're listening to Clean With Me,
the podcast where we walk you through cleaning your house. Hey everybody, this is Jessica, and today I want to talk about cleaning your kitchen, and I'm going to tell just a few little funny stories and updates about how my kids are doing in school. Just, just typical everyday mom things and the embarrassing things that my kids say about me on a daily basis. But anyway, let's get right into it. First things first, I want you guys to do what we always do. Even when we're doing the kitchen, I still like to start with a load of laundry. So just get ready for the day. Put your hair in a bun, put some makeup on if that's what makes you feel good about yourself. Maybe you just want to put something comfy on to clean with. Whatever you usually do before a cleaning session. Light a candle, open some windows, and then let's go ahead and do a laundry switch. Move the clothes from the washer to the dryer and from the dryer to a laundry basket. And then I'll remind you to fold those at the end of the episode and to do a laundry switch. And while you guys are doing that, I'll tell you about my kid's second day. So my daughter came home her second day of school, and she's in kindergarten, and she told me, Mom, I drew, they let me draw whatever I want, so I drew this picture. And she had this look in her eye, like this mischievous look. And I was like, oh yeah, what'd you draw? Because she draws a lot. She's really artistic. And she was like, well, this is the TV. And she points at the TV, and I was already like, yeah. And then on the TV, there was like this cartoon guy with red on him, and he's like, and this is somebody getting cut open. And I was like, why? And she was like, and anyway, that's you and Dad on the bed, and that's me and Rosalie sitting on the edge of the bed and watching it. And I told my teacher when she asked what it was, that it was me watching a really bad thing on TV that you let me watch, and it was for adults only. And I was like, why would you say that? And I was like, are you referring to it last night? And she was like, yeah. Remember they were doing that at the doctor, the surgery? And I was like, uh-huh. So she drew a picture of, I don't know if you guys are familiar with the show The Good Doctor, but it's a show about an autistic doctor. And yeah, it's not for kids, but she was supposed to be asleep. I thought she was asleep, and her sister was asleep, so I don't know why she drew her sister watching it. Anyway, we watched like 20 minutes of it and then turned it off and went to bed. And there was a surgery scene, and I guess she woke up and saw it. But I was like, why would you tell your teacher you were watching an adult really bad thing when, one, you were supposed to be in bed and asleep, and I thought you were asleep, and two, why didn't you tell her it was a doctor helping somebody if you knew what it was? And she was like, I don't know. You told me it was an adult show before we went to bed. You said, when you go to sleep, I'm going to watch an adult show. I heard you tell Dad that. And so I was like, okay, well, now your teacher probably thinks I'm a dodo. So I always write little notes in my kids' lunches. So the next day in their lunch, because she can't read quite yet, so I know the teacher reads the little notes, and I usually just write, like, I love you, have a good day. So I wrote, I love you, Juliana. P.S. I was watching The Good Doctor. That was the quote-unquote adult show that my daughter drew yesterday, and she was supposed to be asleep, so I don't want you to think I'm a bad parent. And me and the teacher has now caught on. It's been a few weeks now. It's been like a month, I guess, since they've started. Maybe not quite that long. But the teacher's caught on now that I think it's funny. And I kind of want to know when my daughter is saying something a little off the wall to her. So she'll kind of tell me sometimes now. And I don't know why my kids have this affinity to embarrass me. So anyway, moving on. We're going to go to the kitchen now. I have lots more, because apparently this is a theme for the year, is embarrass mommy. So move on to the kitchen, and I want you guys to just throw away all the trash. We're going to deep clean this kitchen. I want you to throw all the trash away. That includes inside the fridge, just anything and everything that is trash, throw it. Any kind of food that you need to get rid of or throw away or throw outside or go down the garbage disposal if you have one. Go ahead and take care of that at this time. And then also I want you guys to anything that's out of place. Maybe you have an area, an island, a dining room table, something that's just accumulating junk and you need to just quickly throw that stuff away or put it where it goes. Just run around as fast as you can and just quickly pick up and clear space. And then we're going to move on to the dishes. And that's kind of what we're going to focus on this episode, is mainly the dishes. So if you have a big pile of dishes, this is the episode for you. And I'm going to tell you my stories and stuff while you do the dishes. So after you get all of the dishes gathered from around the house, also don't forget to do that. You can also have a kid do that if need be, teenager or something. And then I want you guys to do a thorough pre-rinse of everything. Once you've thrown everything away, put everything away, I want you to start pre-rinsing. And while you're doing all of that and taking care of all the basic, just pre-rinse, put the clean dishes away, getting everything ready to tackle this big pile of dishes. I like to make it as easy as possible for me to actually get the dishes done. So I make sure I scrape out all the food, so all I have to do is minimal scrubbing. If something definitely is like baked on, I will leave it to soak while I'm doing my pre-rinsing and the rest of the dishes, so it's not a big ordeal when I'm doing them. And I will also just make sure I do a really thorough pre-rinse. That way when I'm actually knocking out the dishes, I just wash them really quickly, rinse them, and put them in the dish rack or my dishwasher. And if you have a better dishwasher than me and your dishwasher does a better job, then, you can just kind of not do as thorough, I guess, of a clean before you put it in the dishwasher. That's up to you and up to your household. Mine doesn't work very well, so usually I use it as a drying rack, but sometimes I'll just run the stuff through just for extra sanitization if I have extra time. So moving on, I want you guys to be working on that while I'm talking. Don't forget to get all the leftovers out of the fridge and everything. And I know I had a lot of stuff that needed to be thrown away. And I haven't brought this up in a while, but I used to bring it up a lot. But a great way to keep up with your fridge, if you have trouble keeping up with cleaning out of your fridge, is right before you go get groceries, do a deep clean of your refrigerator and your freezer and get rid of anything that's expired and just wipe everything down. That way when you come home with the groceries, you don't have to move anything around. All you have to do is just put the stuff right in, and your kitchen and your refrigerator's always already nice and clean. My husband taught me that, and I've been doing it ever since, because he noticed that I had kind of a bad habit of leaving just boxes of food and just random miscellaneous stuff in the fridge for long periods of time. And that really has helped me, because I get groceries pretty regularly, and it's at perfect intervals for me to deep clean my refrigerator. So if you need to do that, go ahead and do that. But I want to focus on the dishes. So just after you're done clearing everything out of the refrigerator, start working on pre-rinsing. And while you're pre-rinsing, I'll tell you a few other things. So my daughter watches me shave sometimes my armpits. Okay. Gross. TMI. I know. Whatever. Everybody does it. But she, one time she walked in on me when I was taking a shower and then said something about me having hairy armpits because she saw me shaving. And I was like, yeah, ha ha ha, whatever. Didn't think anything of it. My kids say stuff like that to me all the time. I have no privacy. Rosalie has to be in the bathroom every time I use the restroom. If you have small children, you definitely understand that. Or just small children living with you. They could be nieces, nephews, whatever. They don't like personal space. So anyway, I was dropping them off last week, and Juliana told her teacher and the teacher's assistant that were getting her out of the car during the drop-off line, my mom has hairy armpits, and then just starts laughing. And then her teacher was like, what did she say? And I was like, she said I had hairy armpits, and I do not. And Juliana, I do not appreciate you doing that and yelling that at your teacher. And then the teacher was laughing. And then, she got the note, and then she realized now, okay, Juliana just likes saying things to embarrass her mom. So she'll tell me now when she says something that's off the wall and ask me what it means, because Juliana, usually when she says something really extreme, she's trying to say it for shock value. She's really smart for her age, and she has noticed that she can get a reaction out of people, so she'll say something for shock value, and then when I explain why she's saying it, they're like, okay. So then she'll ask me why, and then we'll laugh about it. So me and her teacher are both kind of on the same page now. It's kind of funny. And speaking of which, just be working on the dishes while I talk. But my 3-year-old niece, she was recently on an airplane ride for the first time with her grandparents, and her mom said that the grandparents were having trouble because she was having stomach issues. She had to go number 2 on the airplane, and she didn't want to get up off the airplane because she thought she was going to fly out, and they were like, no, it's safe, you're okay. They had to really convince her. She's really shy, timid little 3-year-old, and when they got her on the toilet, she was bawling, and she apparently said that she didn't want it to fall out, like she didn't want her poop to fall out of the plane. And it's funny, but it's not, because the poor thing was so upset, and I guess she was just really upset, and she was like, I don't want it to fall out. And they had to sit there for like a really long time and convince her that it was okay and that it was going to stay. And like they had to explain to her how the toilet worked and stuff. And she just did not like the idea of her number 2 coming out of the sky. That upset her, and her pee. And she was like, I don't want my pee coming out of the airplane. It's just funny how little kids' minds work. And she's an only child, but my 3-year-old gets the luxury of learning weird stuff from her sister. So if her sister is in a weird phase, so is she. So, and if you're doing the dishes and you have a big pile of dishes, just while I'm telling these stories, don't get discouraged. I like to take everything, if I have like a really big pile of dishes, I like to take everything out, do a thorough pre-rinse, get all the food out, leave some things to soak, and then I will start with cups. I'll kind of section things off on the countertop, and then put like all the cups in the sink, and then wash all the cups, and then move to plates, and on and on and on. So that's how I do it. That's the easiest way for me to tackle it. So just be working on that. But like I said, my little one's been learning things from her big sister. So the day that I scolded her about the picture that she drew, I was like, why would you do that? Why would you call it a bad adult show and like not explain yourself to the teacher and tell her that it was a doctor show? Rosalie, my little one, caught on, my 3-year-old, she caught on that I was mad about her saying something that I didn't want her to say. And Juliana has this thing that she repeats all the time, and she goes, I know what you and Dad fight about, and this is probably TMI. And this is really embarrassing, but anyway, she goes, it's something that she's been saying for months now. I guess she overheard an argument between us a long time ago. So whenever like she senses like we're mad at each other or something, she'll be like, I know what you guys talk about when I'm not around. And she says it in front of Rosalie, and she says, you talk about money problems. It's just something weird that Juliana says. So when I was scolding Juliana about drawing that picture, Rosalie goes, I know what I'm going to draw tomorrow for my day at school. You and Daddy having money problems. And I was like, what? Why do you guys hate me? And I was like, Rosalie, how would you even draw that? And she was like, she started laughing. She's like, I don't know, but I'm going to draw it, and you're going to be mad about it. And I was like, Okay, I don't know how to stop. I was trying not to react to it because I knew if I reacted to it, they would, keep doing it. So I just tried to pretend like it didn't bother me. And I told my mom, and she thought it was hilarious. Me, not so much. And then when I was like, Rosalie, why would you do that? She was like, okay, sorry, Mom, I won't do that. I was just pretending. I was like, okay. But anyway, I guess moral of the story is even if you watch what you say around your kids, they will embarrass you. Even if you do all the right things, they will say strange things to their teachers. Kindergarten teachers are used to it. They think it's funny. It gives them something to laugh about during the day. So don't take anything too seriously. If I did, I would constantly be in a stressed out mode. It's nothing to worry. And if you actually are a good parent and you have nothing to hide, then the worst thing they can say is probably what my kids say. But I try really hard not to give them quote unquote strange stories to tell their teachers, and somehow they still come up with stuff. On a little lighter of a note, today at drop off, the teacher told me, she was like, your daughter, she has this little friend, and last year they had pre-K 4 together, and she knows that I have the mom's number because she gave me the number at like a Christmas thing, and she sent me Christmas videos of the kids a year ago, and she knew at the time that I took her number down, so she remembered that I had her number. And the teacher this morning at the pickup line was like, so apparently you and so-and-so's mom are best friends. I hear about it every day. And I just started cracking up, and I was like, actually, I got her number from, she gave me her number last year and sent me a couple school photos of the girls. I'm like, she's a nice lady, but I haven't talked to her since. And then she just started laughing. And she's like, I thought as much because I didn't think you guys knew each other. And she just thought it was the funniest thing and just laughed. So anyway, her teacher's so funny. And I can only imagine what these little kids say. But this being Rosalie, my 3-year-old's first year of school, she's in pre-K 3, and it's only for a few hours, but I have learned that she's terrified of the cool down corner, quote unquote, where they put you in timeout. The cool down corner. And I told her I was going to make a cool down corner at home. And just the fact that I called it that, her eyes got all wide, and she was like, I don't want that. And I was like, okay, then you got to be good. She's terrified. It's just so funny, the things kids are scared of and react to, and apparently the cool down corner is an effective form of discipline for her. So we'll see how that goes. I'm going to implement it. But moving on, hopefully you guys are getting a lot done. Hopefully you guys tackled a little bit of your dishes. If you still have a lot of dishes to go, please pause, restart, or listen to another dish episode. We have tons of them. If you want to go ahead and start cleaning the rest of your kitchen and doing a thorough wipe down, you know the drill. Wipe down every surface, every area. Make sure you get your cabinets, your refrigerator, your island, your chairs if you have small kids or just kids that eat messily. High chairs, make sure you wipe down, and then do a thorough sweep and mop after I end the podcast. And don't forget about those little things like taking out the trash and replacing the liner. And then if you tackled a big mountain of dishes and you want to sit back, relax, and fold some laundry, don't forget about that laundry that we put in the laundry, and just do a laundry switch and then get some laundry folded. I hope you guys got a little bit of something out of today. Today's a little shorter than usual, so if you still have momentum and you want to go to a different bedroom, by all means, there's plenty to choose from. We label them according to room or whole house. And I hope you guys got some cleaning done today. And as always, happy cleaning, guys.